Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking in. If it's your first time seeing this face, my name is Mecca. I live in the south of England. I grow most of my vegetables organically and I heal my body from fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue using food as medicine. Now, this fertilizer will save you money and give you delicious, beautiful crops. I learned this from the old boys. Yeah, this is not the normal way Comfrey tea is made. All you need is just this much into a watering can. You can call me today Lady in Pink. I'm all in pink. It's such a coincidence. Pink is not my favorite color. So that's all you need. And then you just give your plants this every week or twice every 2 weeks rather, and you see these things flourish. I watch them have beautiful tomatoes. I'm like, what's the secret? Comfrey, nothing else. I'll show you how it's made. Stay tuned. Right, this fertilizer is so easy to make. First thing we need is some comfrey. I picked these yesterday, so they look a bit wilted, but they're still fine. They were only picked yesterday. Now, comfrey, you can actually harvest it 3 times a year, so you can cut it down 3 times in a year. I get this free from my plot neighbor. I don't actually have any growing on my plot, so you don't worry. Even if you don't have it growing on your plot, you can find it in the wild because it grows really wild and it can be invasive. But if you can have access to it, get a few of the suckers, the roots, and just plant them, not in the high heat, ideally in the springtime or in the autumn, and it grows because the roots are so deep it could just stay there wherever you've put it or spread. Now, comfrey is called a dynamic accumulator, not particularly a dynamic accumulator in the sense that it has tap roots that goes really down, apparently up to 10 feet down, and so it can mine minerals. But then another good thing about comfrey is that the leaves, grow so fast, so you can actually harvest it with all the nutrients as often. Okay, it wilts so easily. This was a full basket yesterday. Comfrey in flower, okay, that's what the flowers look like. Purple flowers are not the best. Okay, ideally pick them when they're in just the leaves. Okay, that's the best time because they haven't started diverting their energy to making the flowers. The flowers are sterile, this particular variety, but then that's just something to note. So what you need 2 containers. Now, there's so many different complicated ways of doing it. I'm doing this without water to start with, okay, and I'll show you how the whole process goes. It's different from what you've ever seen, so keep watching. So you need 2 containers, ideally the same size. This one has got holes and this one no holes. I actually inherited this from, we had a centenarian that passed away. Actually, I inherited his plot, and this was one of the things I inherited. So I feel so privileged because this person has used this. His father had an allotment and he died in nearly 100. So can you imagine how many years this knowledge has passed on? So you need this one with holes. So this was already drilled for me. Make sure the holes are free, and this one without holes. And then all you need to do, you fit them in. If you can't source them, now this is a good seal. If you see, that's just the seal. That's it. It seals tightly. If you can't find the perfect bucket like this, just use whatever you can, but make sure there are no holes, simply because, well, there's no way for insects to go in and lay eggs. Okay, and now we chuck our comfrey into this bucket. My screen looks a bit wonky. Apologies, that's what the tripod's doing today. Anyway, we pop it all in here, and then we're gonna go ahead and chop this. Sometimes another trick, now listen carefully, I pour this on my lawn and I use my lawnmower to just shred it. If you haven't got a shredder, it's quicker. I'm not making a big batch today, so it's fine, but when I'm making a big batch, I just pour the whole leaves on the lawn, shred it with my lawnmower, and it's really easy that way. So now we're gonna go ahead and chop this up. Right, guys, I'm a female gardener and I can do this, so I think anyone can do this. Not saying that women are weaker, just generally saying. So this is what I'm doing. Just give it a little chop, because the bigger the surface area, the quicker it's gonna break down. Okay, now the bucket is literally less than a quarter full. Now this nearly filled the bucket initially. And once you've chopped it up, okay, guys, I did this in the spring and I've just made the tea. So you can leave this for up to 3 months or sooner, but ideally 6 weeks is the limit. Okay, now I've chopped it up. Okay, I'm not chopping any finer. You can do that if you want. Get a little flat tray and place inside the bucket like so. All right, and then we get a block, a brick, just for the weight, and put that in, and that just helps squeeze this thing so the liquid will drip through the holes into the other bucket, and then we'll have our pure Comfrey tea. Then to seal the top, making sure we don't want insects going in to lay eggs, we cover it up and we put another weight there. Now this is now impenetrable to insects, flies and whatever, and we'll have our Comfrey tea in a few weeks. So I'll show you what it's like. I've got another batch that I made previously. I'm going to show you how I process it and give my plants the best organic feed there is. Keep watching. So I made this batch earlier in the year, the first harvest I had, and I'll show you what it looks like and how I process it. So first you need a decent pair of gloves because it's a bit anyway, that's not a problem. So we'll open it. I've taken the weight out and it's going to reveal we've only harvested very tiny amount of juice or concentrate. That's not a problem. I have been using it anyway, time and time again, to feed my tomatoes. So I'm just going to put this bit in here in a bottle. She says this is super concentrated. Okay, it is super concentrated. Now what we do next is, we know this bucket has got holes in it, okay, and this one hasn't. So I'm gonna tip this into that bucket. All right, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's a big bucket of sludge, and then I will add some water. Try and use like rainwater or non-chlorinated water. I just add some water into it. All right, fantastic. So we can still make tea with this bit and then also use this as mulch. So nothing is being wasted at all. Nothing should be wasted. So I'm just gonna mix it up. If this were to be the one you soak, the usual one, this whole place will be funky. It does smell, don't get me wrong, the flies already coming, but not nowhere as near. And because it's been a sealed container, there are no like maggots or anything in there. It's been sealed properly. Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a little soak in this liquid, and then it will be filtered for making another bit of Comfrey tea that will be stored in a bigger container and diluted as well. So nothing is wasted. So I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna strain this later. When I need it, I'll strain it in one of these. I bought these cheap from Amazon, like mesh bags. I should take my gloves off because they're not letting me feel properly. So put it around your container, obviously something that can fit. It's just the best thing to do. And then put my gloves back on. You do need gloves for this, unless you don't mind. I mind touching this. I love gardening, but obviously I mind what I put my hands in. I won't be putting my hands in chicken poop. And that's it. So we put it there, and look how this tea looks so concentrated as well. So it's equally concentrated and it can equally store for so long. It's just you don't have that initial stinkiness which is common with Comfrey. Okay, I had to put this pulp away because the flies in the whole neighborhood have surrounded it, but I'm gonna put this in a container, store it away so that it can be used at my allotment in the polytunnel as a mulch, because that's where it dries out easily. I'm not going to waste it at home here because I'm watering every day. My plants don't need a heavy mulching as they do in the allotment. I think I invited all the flies in the neighborhood while I was training this. So give this a hose down, okay? It can be all gunky, but just give it a hose down and it's nice and ready for another time. So we've got all of this beautiful juice. Now it's time to strain it. I couldn't find the funnel, so I just got a water bottle. We did this growing up, easy peasy. And now I'm going to put this whole thing into a labeled container. As you can see, there's a little bit there from last time. And this can last you a whole year, the whole season really. You don't need a lot. Thank you so much if you've watched till this point. I hope this video has been helpful. You can make your own Comfrey concentrate. It's free. Look, I got 5 liters. I got a liter of the pure concentrate, no water in here. And this one is mixed with water, but it's super concentrated as well. And you can have so much beautiful harvest in the season. So if you've enjoyed this video, please do not forget to give us a thumbs up. Guys, I'm giving you all the secrets and tips that the big gardeners have probably hidden for years. I've watched my allotment neighbors do this and I see the results. I see the ones that are growing organically. I see the results and I thought I'm gonna try it, and it's worked for me as well. So that's why I'm sharing this with you here. So if you have enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button if you haven't, and turn on your notification bell for new videos for gardening, juicing and healthy tips. And until next time, I will see you in another video. Bye bye.